What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So I'm currently back on the Crew 2 today because of one thing, and that is going to be the community races. Now, the reason why I did want to talk about this today is I feel like the community races would solve so many issues in Motorfest. And you might be asking, well, why is that? So the thing is, though, everybody has been asking for events. Everybody probably wants the island to be more filled up, have more stuff on it. And you know what, though? This could easily be the way to fix the entire thing without adding a bunch of new players to the game. Hear me out, though. We all do know right now this game does end up having the community races, which was added into it toward like the end of the game's life cycle, like kind of it was obviously going to be during that year. We all do know a lot of players wanted this in Motorfest, but it wasn't a thing. I was honestly really hoping they were going to add the community races into the game, but it does seem like we have not gotten them yet. I do hope we end up getting them in the future. The reason for that, though, is a lot of players are looking for more events for like Rallycross or, just an entirely different mix of events on the new island. The way to fix that is, yeah, they could probably add playlists to the game, which I do feel like they take a bit too long on those. So I was like, okay, well, wait a second. What if we did get community races added? That way players can go in, create their own races around the entire game, and that way players can mess around with like street races or touring races or, racing, touring car, tomato, tomato, rallycross, rally, plane races, and basically everything. But there was also something else I was thinking about with the community races. Do let me know in the comments below, guys, if you think this could have an issue in Motorfest if it was to be a thing. Do y'all think they're maybe not adding the community races because if they were to add them and players could make all the races themselves, then people would not end up really caring about the playlist anymore, which we all do know at this point is going to be like the biggest point of content that they do end up adding in each season. If they were to have like a community race thing in there to where you can legitimately make races for every single category, then well, why would a lot of players even care about doing the playlist if you have something like that? Was something I was thinking about, man. It really would end up making sense. But here's the thing, though. When looking at the Crew 2, guys, I'm sure a lot of players do know this, but you can actually head over to the filters in the menu of the community races, which this is going to be like the front one, like very popular races. You have like the 70-mile race here at like nighttime in the snow and street race. Apparently 300,000 people have played that one, which is absolutely insane unless I think that's what that number means, 130,000 likes. But either way, though, going over to filters, heading over to discipline, you could see all these street races here changing that over, guys. Look at all of these. There are so many of them. But what if you don't want to do street races? What if you want to do different drift tracks and all that? Well, heading over to drift here, guess what? There's still going to be a ton of these you can also do in different places, man. And on top of all of this, though, we all do know right now in the Crew 2, there's already a total of, what, 360 plus events. You can also add way more events on top of that when looking at something like the community events. For example, there's not going to be enough rally raid events in Motorfest. Well, let's go make a bunch of them and add them into the game in different areas, going over roads that you haven't explored. Oh, well, you know what? There's only going to be, what, one motocross event? Well, guess what? We could probably fix that, do some longer motocross events, maybe make some tracks and all that. That would be so dang dope. Rallycross, let's get those in there. Oh, we don't have enough plane or helicopter races or something. You can, like, tie it to those. Boom, let's go do something like that. That would be so dang cool. I feel like players would love it. And that's the biggest thing I really thought about with this, though, when I was playing the community races, checking some of them out and looking at them. I was like, yo, this would be so good in Motorfest in so many different aspects. And there is a lot of reasons why I do truly think this would work. Like, a lot of players are looking for more stuff to do in Motorfest. They don't want to do grand races. They've done all the playlists. There's not going to be a ton of events to do in most of the classes and all that. So here's going to be a really easy way to fix it. Add the community events, that way players can make them. And guess what that would do? That would not only make a bunch of really fun events around different areas of the map. Let's say you've never been on certain roads enough, or maybe dirt roads aren't used all that often. Maybe you can mix in some like off-roading and street racing with like rallycross or something. Going from like one dirt road, you go over the entire thing, you head over to the main street, go over to the next part of the dirt, follow that road. Like, that would be so dope. And the best part about that, though, is, yeah, we can make more events for like rallycross, monster trucks, and rally raid, motocross, and all that stuff. But we can also make more events for power boats, airplanes, pretty much bringing you around the island, different areas, and really mixing up the gameplay. And I do know a lot of players still enjoy using hyper and street cars. I also do. But the thing is, though, we can also finally get some longer events in the game that might pay a bit better, that players are really going to want to grind. That way you can go around the entire island, going all the way to the new island. Having some longer endurance races in the game would be so dang dope. I do understand the longest event in the games maybe around 10 or 12 minutes at the moment. Doesn't pay all that much money, and the event players are probably tired of it because it has been in the game for over a year since the launch of the actual game itself. So why not add some new longer events to the game players can enjoy? But if you cannot add a playlist like that, give players the option to make the events how we did end up having in the Crew 2. I do know I was talking about this in other videos, man. Like, I do understand the playlist thing. I do know they were aiming with that overall design for Motorfest, but we can all agree, guys, having one playlist or even two, if that, every single season is just simply not enough events to go around for every single category. So a good way to fix that, we'll add the community races. That way players can make the events. Then you would never have an issue not having enough races for any of the categories. And also players can really get interesting with how they make them. That was one of my favorite things. Oh, you want to race helicopters? You can do it. And oh, what if you're looking to like level up a demolition derby car? You want to do like a different type of event? You're going to have the option to do it. The best part though is, what if you are driving one of these classes going, you know what, man, what if there was a different event in this area we can do with it? I really like this road. What if we connected these roads and made a dope race? You're going to have the option to make those races because of the community designed races, to where you can jump in and truly make them the way you would like them to be. Or you can get together with a bunch of people, make some dope events, and then you're going to have a huge variety of races going to every single category. I really do see this as a huge win-win on basically every single side of it. Now the thing is, as I did mention earlier, would this end up messing up like the entire playlist thing, how they try to promote them? If you have the community races, then players might end up popping in going, okay, so we got a new playlist, let me play through that, then I'm done with it. But why am I going to go do some of these races? They're not all that fun, where I can go do other races that players have made, or I can even go in and make a better event. So I guess there's probably going to be a bit of conflict there. But I really do feel like having the community races in Motorfest, man, would just be, it really is needed so dang much. Do let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. I really feel like it would legit open up an unlimited amount of races we can do with every single class in the game, and that way it would really fill in every part of the new map and the existing map that's already in the game as well. And guess what? It's going to then have a bunch of events everywhere. Players are always going to have something to do if they don't feel like doing rain races or summits. Again, let me know your thoughts on this in the comments below. Do you guys want to see community races in Motorfest? Is it needed? I would most likely guess at this point, well, everybody's like, yes, please bring them in legitimately right now. In fact, I gotta admit, I'm kind of surprised they weren't added into Motorfest pretty much on the launch of the game.